I'm going to tell you the 3 biggest myths about reverse mortgages right now. And by the way, the background, you can hear all these birds. Sun's about to go down, so hear all these birds chirping in the background. It's basically the storks screaming at each other. And you got my 2, where are they? Doggies right over here, Lucky and Belle, doing whatever they do, searching for lizards. But anyway, my name's Jason Eichmiller. I run Reverse Mortgage Reality, and there's just a lot of stuff that I hear people tell me that they think about reverse mortgages that are really negative and that aren't true. Man, these birds are going crazy. So let's go through them myth by myth pretty quickly. The first one is that you get a reverse mortgage and you don't own the house. So that is false. A lot of people think that. They think that the government or the bank owns the house. That's not true. When you get a reverse, you stay on the deed. You have full ownership. You can sell it, you can refinance it, you can pay it off, you can make payments you want, and when you pass away, the house will go to either your spouse if they're still alive, or it'll go to your kids. And it's just like, really, think about a regular mortgage. Whatever is owed will get paid back. Your kids will sell it or refinance it to pay it back. Your kids will get the rest. So I can dramatically say myth number 1 is busted. Let's talk about the second myth. Second myth is, and I'm getting this question a lot. People seem to think, for some reason, and it's okay if you do, by the way, because you're not an expert at this. You're just looking online. But people think that if you get a reverse mortgage and then the home value drops, you end up owing more on the house than it's worth, then they can call the loan due or they can freeze your credit line. And that also is false. So when you get a reverse, here are the things that can make the bank say, hey, we want our money back. Number 1, you die and there's nobody else on the loan. So if you're husband and wife and one of you passes, then the house stays, everything stays normal, because husband dies, wife's okay, wife dies, husband's okay. Number 2, if you stop paying your property taxes and you don't pay them, you refuse to pay them, eventually the reverse mortgage company's going to say, all right, we want our money back. That's how they can call the loan. Number 3 is if you vacate the house, if you're not living there for 12 months or longer, and the reverse mortgage company finds out, they can say, we want our money back. But that's it. There's no other, man, these birds are, I'm trying to get them in the background here. Let's see here. There's no other way that they can call the reverse mortgage. So if you exhaust your line of credit, meaning that, let's say your line of credit's $100,000 and you took all $100,000 out, you have a full loan. Doesn't matter. They can't do anything. They can't call it. In fact, here's something most people don't know. If you pay down the line of credit, let's say you pay $1,000 to it, then the amount that's paid over the interest that's charged, that will actually start the credit line anew again. So if you exhaust your credit line, it's okay. Nobody's going to do anything. You just won't have any more money you can take. Also, if you exhaust your credit line, that's one thing. If the house, let's say 2008 hits, and I think that's darn near impossible for a whole bunch of reasons I'm not going to go into now. But if you end up owing more than the house is worth, a lot of people think that the reverse mortgage policeman can knock on the door. It's not true. You can owe, your house could be worth $300,000 and you could owe $600,000, which really is impossible in today's world unless 2008 hits really bad. And again, I don't think it's going to happen. But even if you owe more money than the house is worth, they still can't call the loan. Okay, so that myth as well is busted. You got a reverse, you've got it until you decide you don't want it or until you pass it away. And the third myth I'm going to go over, there's a bunch of them, these are like kind of the top 3, is folks will call me and they'll say, hey, I want to do this, but I want to save all my money for my kids. They probably want the equity, they don't want me to take it. Number 1 thing that's wrong with that is it's your money, it's not your kids' money. You worked for it. And secondly, if you think about like the sandwich generation, that's somebody like me. My folks are 75 and my kids are 12, 11, and 9. So I've got both ways here to kind of think about. we want our parents, like if our parents can get help and we don't have to shell out a whole bunch of bucks for it, then awesome. We have, in many cases, unless you have an adult child who's really, really, really doing amazing at work, and there's some who certainly are, but we have enough expenses. Paying for mom and dad while we're paying for the kids is it's pretty tough to do. So the kids that I speak with, because about 40% of the time, the folks that contact me to get a reverse mortgage are the kids calling for their parents. It's not the parents. Well, the parents are still 60%, but 40% is a pretty big number. So when almost every single kid I speak with, they say, hey, I want my parents to do as well as possible, but I want them to be safe. I don't want them to be ripped off. So they care about their parents. They want to take care of them, but they know that financially they'd have a tough time. Now, on the other hand, you do have that 10% or so of kids who are greedy and who just want mom's inheritance and have somewhat like manipulated her to make sure that she's going to give the kids the house and the money, despite the fact that, to her detriment, I should say. Those kids, pieces of trash. Really, fortunately, it's only 10% of the time, but if you're concerned more about your inheritance than your mom making it through life, then I'm sorry, you're a piece of trash. It is what it is. Go ahead and downvote this. You can comment whatever you want, but just know, you understand. But fortunately, again, most adult children are great. They just want to take care. They want their mom to be, or their mom and dad to be taken care of. And when you look at retirement, you look at assets down, you look at expenses up, but there's still so much equity sitting in so many seniors' homes. Really, the reverse is, it's one of the only programs that will safely give them that, like a portion of that equity. So, off the soapbox, just wanted to go kind of go over those 3 myths. If you have any others that you're thinking of that you want me to do a video on, I'm glad to. Go ahead and either email me or stick them in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos about reverses, go ahead and subscribe. But my name is Jason. Again, I run Key Home Lending and Reverse Mortgage Reality, and you can get me at, if you have any questions, you'd like to see how this could work for you or a family member, get me at 888-309-9705. Again, 888-309-9705. Or you can email me at jason@keyhomelending.com. Finally, if you want to go to reversequotes.com, you can put your information in. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, then you can see some interviews that I've done with other folks who have gotten reverse mortgages. All right, that's it. Hopefully you understand. Hopefully you saw that these myths got busted. And if you need anything, feel free to get in touch. All right, take care of yourself.